Chill out, ma boy, it's part of the fun playing paragaming builds. And this time, we took the most brain-dead build in Diablo 4 and turned it into a computer crashing machine. Now, if this build isn't busted, then I don't know what is. I'm literally busting right now playing this build. Or what do you say, Donnie?
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice.
Yeah, try to keep me out if you can, you asshole. And what's your thoughts about this build then, Arnie?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less. Now I've been blasting the PTR way too much lately, and I intend to do so until I'm out of my last remaining brain cells. Blasting on the PTR, this is both the most disgusting and disgustingly fun build I've ever played in Diablo 4. So if you enjoy having fun, then this is definitely for you. If not, then well, fuck you then. In this video, I'll break down the basics in how this amazing build works, so you too can hop into the PTR and start blasting, or at least get hyped for Season 4. I'll break the build down in depth heading into Season 4 as well, granted the build doesn't get nerfed to shit. Alright, so how in the hell does it work then? Well, the build uses 3 key aspects to summon all of these beautiful Dust Devils. Dust Devil's aspect, Devilish aspect, and aspect of Fierce Winds. Dust Devil's aspect is pretty boring, as it's just whirlwind spawning Dust Devils for us. The other two, however, are goddamn sick. Firstly, the Devilish aspect summons 3 tornadoes every time we generate 100 Fury. Now you're probably thinking, what if we stack a lot of Fury regeneration? Won't we get a ton of Dust Devils then? And you're absolutely correct, you goddamn legend. By stacking a shit ton of Fury regen everywhere, this aspect summons unlimited amounts of tornadoes for us. Man, it's even so damn broken that you can literally AFK farm via this aspect since we are granted Fury every time we take damage. The other amazing aspect, Fierce Winds, is also extremely interesting. Every time we shout, we get 5 Dust Devils, which is cool and all, but check out the implicits. By using this aspect, our Dust Devils gain damage the bigger they are. Like a dick. Now, I haven't been fortunate enough to find the tempering manuals to gain Dust Devil's size, nor have I found a consistent way to increase my penis size. Which is a huge bummer. Whenever you get the tempering manuals, however, you can more than double their size, for double damage. Talking about tempering manuals, there's another one that is equally busted. An increased chance of spawning double the amounts of Dust Devils. So if you think this build is busted right now, just imagine once you slap on these affixes. For the skills, we're obviously rocking Triple Shout, and that is for 2 reasons. 1, we want the build to be as dumb as possible, allowing us to press as few buttons as possible. And secondly, to spawn more Dust Devils, of course. By pressing all shouts at once, you can get something like this. Alright, let's take a quick look at my gear now, because there's a bunch of interesting new stat changes coming with the new season, and I'll be here to guide you through it. If we quickly hover over all of my pieces, you're going to see that I have 0 damage reduction. And that's not because I want to fucking die El Mao, but it's because the stats can only be obtained on some unique pieces. And here's a shocker for you. The things over here in the PTR hits like a goddamn truck. So the new goal when making builds will be to stack damage reduction on the aspects where it's possible. The new goal is also to grab massive amounts of armor if you want to push high tiers in the pit, and for the new Uber bosses, as they're level 200, and we get an armor penalty whenever mobs increase in level. Other than that, it's all about stacking as much max life, get the resistances capped, and get the damage modifiers that you're used to. We're also stacking as much Fury regeneration as possible, and also maximum Fury, why you'll see soon. When done, you can also check out the planner for some sick tempering stats that we can get on the gear. Now for the helm, we want to imprint a defensive aspect until we get Shaco or Tusk Helm. The Iron Bloods aspect is therefore the way to go here, granting an easy 22% damage reduction. For the chest, it's the typical aspect, Juggernaut, as it's still the best defensive aspect in the game. On the gloves, we're rocking the amazing devilish aspect. When it comes to the pants, things get interesting again. I'm rocking these and the disobedience aspect for defensives, but Thibaut's will could still be the way to go despite getting a huge damage nerf. This is due to it having damage reduction, maximum fury, as well as more fury regeneration. Therefore, the true endgame variant will most likely use Thibaut's will, but with the downside that you'll have to stack armor everywhere on other pieces. For the boots, we can finally rejoice because we can get double movement speed. Ah, hell yeah, maxed out movement speed with ease. Give Blizz some love for this because it's all I ever wanted. That and titties, of course. As this build doesn't use any damage brawling skills, we can't use battle fervor, and will instead have to get relentless berserker's aspect. For the weapons, we actually have max life on every piece possible. As you can see here, stats such as damage to close enemies scale really goddamn hard now, so we'll have to update most of our builds for Season 4. For this build, we're also stacking Fury regeneration on all weapons. For our dual wielders, we're also rocking the Ramaladni's magnum opus, and this is the reason that we're grabbing a bunch of maximum fury. The reason we are using this is due to the aspect. By setting our whirlwind to dual wield, we can both take advantage of the Ramaladni's aspect to increase the damage of dust devils, but we also attack faster to increase the amounts of dust devils. Pretty sick, huh? Hell yeah, brother. When it comes to the weapon aspects, we're using the Dust Devil aspects on our two-handers to maximize their damage, and we're also using the Edgemaster's aspect on our one-hander to boost them further. Alright, now hold your breath if you want to avoid puking, because I've done something disgusting here. I've imprinted a defensive aspect on our goddamn amulet. Yeah, I know, but as I said, the demons in the new sanctuary hurts. By getting the Iron Warrior's aspect, we're also able to get 50% damage reduction from our iron skin, which is huge. To deal big dam, we're of course using the elements on one of our ring, and we're also using Bold Chieftain's aspect on the other one to reduce the cooldown of our shouts. And finally, the weapon mastery. Despite being nerfed to shit, the two-handed axe mastery is still the best in my opinion. Perhaps the other ones need a bit of tweaking. Great job, friends. Let's take a quick look at my awesome skill tree and Paragons now. You know what we do to the basic skills? That's right. For some extra whirlwind damage, we're maxing it out, and also grabbing Enhanced Whirlwind for huge fury regeneration, and Violent Whirlwind for big dam. In the defensive skills, we're picking up as much defensives as possible. Since we're losing our cuckpet friend from Season 3, we'll also be using Strategic Iron Skin to get our Fortify. Applying bleeds is extremely important in this build as well, both for the damage reduction and from damage in the Paragon board. Tough as nails, sort that out for us with ease. We then have our good old brawling skills. Having Warcry is extremely important here as well, as it is how we trigger berserking before we can keep it up via different aspects in the Paragon board. The weapon mastery skills are boring as shit, so ditch those. In the ultimate skills, we're using Tempered Fury for our Ramaladnis and Invigorating as our only source of self-healing. Don't underestimate this one, though. The healing it provides is absolutely bonkers. For Big Dam and our second way of triggering berserking, we're also using Wrath of the Berserker. And lastly, the key, passive. As it is our Dust Devils dealing the damage in this build, the only option here is Unconstrained. Unbridled Rage was also forced to eat shit in Season 4, so you'll possibly see less of this beauty in the future. Nicely done, friends. Let's finish this build with some Paragon and how to hecking game. Now, this is a sad moment for all barbarian enjoyers out there. The martial glyph, was nerfed massively, now only granting us half the cooldown reduction whenever we use Shout. It's still sick, though, but possibly not mandatory for every goddamn barbarian build. Heading into the Warbringer board, we have this beauty. Wrath. Even though Dust Devils look like a damage over time skill, it is in fact direct damage, and it can crit, making this one amazing. What we're really after is the Fury on crit, though, allowing us to bust out even more Dust Devils. We then go to the Blood Rage board and pick up the legendary node. This node can now only grant us 30% multiplicative damage, so you'll no longer need to get damage while berserking on every gear piece. But you'll want to get to this cap, at least. We also have Exploit here, as we need the vulnerability. In the Carnage board, I'm socketing the Ireglyph, since we both need the damage reduction, and to hit the 30% cap from damage while berserking. And lastly, the Decimator board. We won't be overpowering, but the legendary node still grants us 10% damage. This is also where we socket our Twister Glyph. I'll probably move this one heading into Season 4 as I want more strength for this glyph, and due to the fact that it scales massively. Alright, that's the Paragon. Let's take a look at how to play this amazing build now. It's as simple as it gets. Simply take one of the hands currently on your dick, put it on your mouse, and start spinning. All you need to worry about is having Iron Skin up as a defensive, and the other skills are used for big damn. Easy, huh? Hell yeah. Are there any other awesome builds you want to see? Let me know. Until then, catch you later, legends.